Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So it's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. No, I'm just kidding. Without a dope beat. I'm sorry, I gotta stop. Okay, I couldn't help it. So starting off a little goofy. I haven't done this in a while, so give me a break, okay? And you can tell by my face that I've been going through it, not only with rosacea, but also being ill. So that's why my nose is like literally has no skin on it. So I didn't have COVID, luckily, but other illness still sucks. You know, that isn't any better. But here we are. So today I was going to do a get ready with me, and I'm sorry I'm looking the wrong way. I have to look at myself and it looks crooked. So I'm gonna look over here now. I'm gonna try to focus on it. Okay, so I'm looking at my phone, so that's the issue. I can't like not look. Anyway, so I'm gonna do a get ready with me today because I do want to film some content for you guys. But I look like this. So I figured I would do kind of like a summary of what's been going on because I feel like so backstory, sorry not to ramble, I went and made a different video earlier with no makeup, just like how I look, and that was fine. Like, I mean, I wear no makeup most of the time, so like this is just how I look. But I was going through the video and I was like, man, this is like a super long video because there's so much background explanation, because you can't just kind of jump into a different like a video when you haven't seen these people and they don't know what's going on with you and why it's been so long. So here we are. And my eyes are super dry, so this is gonna be a really great get ready with me. So I'm gonna try out some different products. I'm just going to put on makeup, just like a, I mean, hopefully not too crazy of a look. I did get this palette I want to try. As I show you this palette that's a rainbow, I'm like, yeah, it hopefully won't be wild. But I don't know. I was thinking about trying some like, I don't know, maybe some like yellow. Let's just go wild, like a little yellow and green moment. I don't know. We'll see what it looks like. If it's terrible, who cares? So I'm at my home. I'm not planning to leave today. So that's that. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready with you, but I just wanted to kind of go over what's been going on with me. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. Like I said, still mildly ill, just under the surface. So, you know, every once in a while, the decongestants aren't falling into place. So, let's get started. What I want to do is actually do my eyes first, which I never do, okay, you guys, but I don't know how this palette's going to work. I don't know if it's going to, like, fall out a lot. So, I'm going to try to, like, be prepared ahead of time because I have recently, during Christmas, I used the Bretman Rock palette, which is by Wet n Wild, and it had so much fallout. Like, I love the colors, I love the color story, everything, but it had a ton of fallout, and I looked like a hot mess at Christmas. So, was it a story for the rest of my days? I don't know. Like, was that a precursor to what my life's gonna be like for the next year? I don't know, but here we are. So, I just want to go over kind of what's been going on because you guys haven't seen me for a while, and I feel like I've just been going through it. Like, I don't want to get into, I'm not going to get into all the, like, legitimate details because I think that's a story for another day, but I feel like my working situation hasn't been great. So that's why I said I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty of all of that because I feel like that's a story for another time. But what I'll tell you at the moment is that, you know, I've been kind of down lately, and I feel like between that and the stress of trying to get pregnant has been really putting me in a weird headspace. So, you know, like at the beginning of the year, I was super excited because I'm like, oh my gosh, we're gonna go to the specialist and we're gonna get all these things figured out and it's gonna be great. And I mean, I have gone to the specialist, so this is kind of like a fertility update as well. So anyway, so we've been actively working on getting pregnant. Like, we've been seeing a fertility specialist pretty much all year, to my own expense, which is another little fun note. If you don't know that, infertility stuff's not covered, so that's cute. I mean, it's a health issue, but apparently nobody cares that it's a health issue. So, like, you just pay for all this stuff out of pocket, which is not cheap. I've had to go through so many tests, and I paid for everything out of pocket. And if you're wondering, I'm not, like, about to cry or anything, which, I mean, I feel like I could be, but my eyes are just super red and dry, and I've not been wearing contacts for a while. I wore them yesterday, and now my eyes are like, oh, what is this? I've been actually wearing glasses, like, which is weird. I don't ever wear my glasses. I've been wearing them for like 3 weeks, so then to put my contacts in yesterday was a trip. So anyway, back to the story. So initially in that last video, you probably remember me being like crying, having a breakdown because of like the visit I had with the doctor. And I feel like at that time, and this is just probably my personality too, I'm not confrontational. And at that point, I was just like, I just want to like get a baby. I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm going to make it work. I don't want to be a Karen and throwing a fit or whatever, you know. So I didn't throw a fit at that time, and I just kind of been bearing the situation and going through it, which I feel like is just a summary of my life. I'm just that person. I will put up with a lot, and then it overflows into everything. Hence why I'm in the situation I'm in. But I basically kind of just was dealing with it, like, hey, whatever, you know, I want a baby, so I'm gonna make it work. So this whole time I've been basically like not really getting results, and I mean, some of that obviously they can help. I mean, I don't want to blame them for that, because I mean, you don't know how people's body is gonna react to things. But I feel like that first visit was very heavy on like, you're gonna need these major procedures, and like there was just not a lot of hope given to me. Like the odds were very low, which I was like, I mean, I would understand if I was in my 40s or older, you know, that the hope kind of dwindles because of your age, but they were like, you're 35, like you're done, you're ancient, move on with your life. Like that's kind of how it was presented to me, and I was like, wow, like I've never heard this before, but you know, here we are. I don't know if no one just wanted to break the truth to me or what, but it was pretty depressing, you know. So all that was going on, and then we did all the tests, and this whole year has been pretty much doing a lot of tests. And then after we went back to Virginia and came back, we started doing well, I think we did one trial before I saw my dad, and that was of doing the trigger shots, which if you don't know, it's basically like you get a hormone injection when you're supposed to ovulate, and then it triggers you to ovulate. So that's why it's called a trigger shot. So that's what I was doing. So I did one round of that, and it was unsuccessful, and I was told up front, like, we're gonna do 3 of these max, like you're not gonna do more than 3, and then you have to do an IUI, which I thought was kind of suspicious, because I'm like, I don't feel like the 3 attempts with timed intercourse is really that many, but you know, who am I? You know, I just kind of was like, whatever, like, you know, we'll see how it goes. But you know, so that was kind of presented to me, and it was weird. I felt like that was weird. But also I started reading a book about fertility called It Starts with the Egg, because that was a recommended book, not by the clinic, mind you. This was like just a book I had heard about online. So I was like, let me do some research, and people said they had success with taking like those tips, and they're kind of like more natural tips, and just seeing how things go. So I was using those techniques, and I was like, okay, cool. Well, I did ask my doctor, like, hey, what do you think about these supplements? And these are things that were recommended in the book. You know, I just want to see how you feel about them. Well, my doctor, first off, never contacted me about them. Like, she never first mentioned them at all. Like, anything I could do on my end. The only thing she kept promoting was going to see a maternal fetal medicine doctor, because she's like, well, with you needing, like, having a diabetic medication and you on a blood pressure medicine, you need to, like, get that sorted out first and see, like, what their recommendation is. And I was like, that's fine. I'm more than happy to see them, because I want to have, like, the healthiest kid possible. Like, you know, I want to have a kid first, but then also do everything as good as I can, you know, to better my situation. So she had recommended that, and then it took me a little bit to get in, and then when I finally got in, it was in like April, right? So I think before we were even doing trigger injections. So I'd already done what she said on that regard. I thought we were good there. And there was that. So we did a couple, let's see, we did 3 trigger injections and they were unsuccessful, obviously. And then we hadn't had a visit kind of like afterward, really, other than the initial one saying we're going to do the trigger injections. So there was kind of like this long gap where I didn't even see the doctor. Like, not even that I didn't see the doctor in clinic or anything like that. Like, when I would go to do the ultrasounds and stuff, like, she wasn't there. I was seeing a completely different doctor, which, I mean, I liked the other doctors. They were nice, you know, nothing was wrong with that, but it just kind of was kind of a little weird. And then no one really followed up with me about anything. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm just kind of doing my own thing. Well, the last time I called in, I was like, hey, it's that time of the month again. We need to get like the appointment scheduled. And they're like, well, you've already been through your 3. And I was like, okay, well then what do we do now? Like, what's the next step? And they were like, oh, well, you missed it. You're supposed to, if you would have called on this day, then you could have started Clomid, which Clomid was really never discussed with me. I had only heard about Clomid from other people who were having fertility issues. Oh my gosh, my nose is dripping. Good Lord. Anyway, my makeup's gonna be a look today. It's based on snot. Anyway, so we like go through that whole process and I'm like, okay, well, that's cool that we're talking about Clomid because no one's talked about that with me and I've heard about that from other people. So I was like, why was that never really suggested, you know? So I was looking for a pencil. Okay, so it was never suggested, yada yada, never really talked about, like the supplements exactly, you know, never really talked about. When I called in, they basically sent me over to like a nurse, which is fine because I work as a tech, so I get it. They answered my question, said, yeah, you can take these supplements. Oh, and then by the way, the other annoying thing too is they're like, oh yeah, we actually have a discount code for these supplements that like we recommend to people. And I was like, okay, well that's cool. Like no one mentioned even taking supplements and now you guys have like a discount code? Like if I wouldn't have called in and bought them on my own, you know what I mean? Then I wouldn't have known about that. So I was like, that's a little sketch, a little annoying, but here we are. So the nurse was super helpful, gave me the information. I'm just adding a little bit more because I feel like I took some away. Anyway, so gave me the information, things were good, whatever, started taking the supplements, you know, that I kind of did on my own. Anyway, started doing that, and then what else? Oh yeah, so they were like, you need to call on this day of your cycle to do the Clomid. So next month you'll have to wait and then call us then. Because right now, we basically missed that time frame or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, not okay, cool, but you know what I mean. And then I can't remember, we did one more trigger shot. Oh yeah, we did one more trigger shot because like, okay, fine, we'll authorize one more trigger shot. So we did one more trigger shot. Of course it didn't work, you know, so such is life. And then the next month I called, which was just December, and I was like, hey, like calling in, you know, I was told to call on this day of my cycle so that we could do Clomid and yada yada. And here we are, like, it's that time, super excited, want to try something new, kind of leveling up, because basically the plan at that point was doing Clomid with the trigger shot. So I was like, wow, that's awesome. Like, okay, we're starting something new. I feel like we're trying something new. We're leveling up, okay? You know, super excited. So get done talking with them about that. And then they were like, oh, okay, well, let me talk to the team or whatever, which happens when you call like the line. They have to talk to like the nurse or whatever about it and get kind of the process started, like the appointments scheduled right and stuff. No problem. Like that's kind of how it's been every time. Not worried about it. So they call in and then they call back, or they get back on the line with me and they're like, oh yeah, the doctor has to see you now. And I was like, oh, okay, well, what's going on? They're like, oh, you're not doing Clomid now. You need to do something different and the doctor has to see you first and all this stuff. And I was like, oh, well, okay, like that's weird. You guys literally told me last month to call on this day so that I could do all this stuff. So they're like, oh yeah, and then you never went to maternal fetal medicine and you know, that's like a big thing doctor wanted you to do and you never did it. And I was like, well, that's the thing, I did in April, like what are you guys talking about? And they're like, well, we never got records, all this stuff. And I was like, okay, well, can you guys just request the records, because you're the one that referred me to that clinic to get the, you know, the treatment and stuff, and or the, you know, the visit. And they were like, no, you have to get the records yourself, we can't help you with that. So I was like, okay, well, that's a pain. So then I called the other clinic and I'm trying to get a hold of them, like, hey, can I get my records sent over, because I'm still seeing them, they were supposed to get it, they never did, this is December, I went, you know, I went in April, so it's been a minute. It was April or June. I think it was June, actually. So I was like, I went in June, you know, like I went a long time ago, as soon as I could get in and get a visit and, you know, figure it out with work. So they're like, oh, well, and then by the way, like after that visit, I had multiple other visits with my primary care doctor to like do all the recommendations. I was like, man, I'm like 6 months of progress has been made. Like, where are you guys at? So they're just so behind on everything. And then, I mean, which, you know, that also is some of the other clinic. They didn't send the records. I get it. But, I mean, with our, I mean, this is how our clinic works. I don't know how all clinics work, you know. I haven't been at all clinics. But I would think if, like, you were referred somewhere, they would send something back. Like, hey, we referred this person to you for said service, like, and we need them to be seen. And you would assume you're going to get a letter back saying, hey, they were seen and this is what the result was. That way everything's all tidied up. I mean, that was my thinking, but no. So then I had to end up sending a records release in, which you have to do by email, or you can do it in person. But I was like, who's going to go into urgent care nowadays on purpose? Anyway, so no. I'm adding a little bit of this pink in here just because I feel like being jazzy. I don't know if it does anything for me. It might make me look bad, but here we are. Anyway, so get the records, release signed, yada, yada, yada. So then I get the appointment with the doctor. So that was supposed to be coming up in January. But I started thinking about it and I was like, I feel kind of disheartened about the whole process, because I'm like, first off, you guys said we're going to do this and now we're not. A bunch of the things that are being now recommended to me, they weren't initially recommended to me. It was kind of like, you're infertile, get IVF, move on with your life. Like, it was like no conversation about any of these minor steps. And I mean, I don't know if I'm just putting on some of this e.l.f. Poreless primer right now, the putty stuff. I'm trying to smooth out my cheeks here. But I don't know if I'm just being difficult. Like, you guys tell me in the comments, but I just feel like, why did we skip a bunch of steps? You know what I mean? Or like, why am I having to say like, hey, why can we do this and can we do that? Because no one's recommending anything to me except IVF, which, I mean, I'm not trying to say it's a business, but as a business perspective, I see their point of like, IVF costs a crap ton of money. A lot of times it's not successful. So yeah, push that narrative, you know? But like, for a person who's paying for everything out of pocket, a person who's just started this process, it seems kind of wild to me just to jump right into the IVF train without really going through any of the steps, or even talking about, I mean, like the trigger shot was, I feel like when I mentioned doing something not IUI and IVF, that's kind of when that was mentioned to me. So it kind of felt like they didn't really want to do it. Like, oh, hopefully she just doesn't know what's around. You know, that's kind of how it felt. I don't know if that's really the take. Or maybe that's just how I interpreted it. Sorry, I'm putting a lot on because my face is really bad right now. I shouldn't have done that right away, you guys. Shouldn't have done that right away. But I don't know. I'm rambling a lot. I'm sorry. I haven't been on the tube in a while, so here I am. But I don't know. I just feel like why weren't those things recommended? Like, I feel like most people want to go through the least invasive things first. You don't want to just jump the gun into something crazy, you know? Like, that's a pretty normal situation. But I guess not. I don't know. I'm not all people. So that's what was happening with that. And then I requested to see a different doctor because I was like, you know what, if I have to come back in for a consult anyway, then maybe I should just see a different doctor and kind of get their take on things and a second opinion. Because I don't feel like we were meshing well. So, and I didn't want to like, I don't know, I'm not trying to be a pain in the butt or anything, but at the same time, since I'm paying for all this stuff out of pocket, I have literally, my insurance covers nothing, like not $1 of anything, like not testing, not ultrasounds, like none of the consults, like they don't cover anything, you know? So it's like, if I'm paying all this money, like I want to get the best benefit out of my money. I want to feel like comfortable. I want to feel like, you know, that I'm getting the best care possible. So I had asked to see a different provider, and then I was told, oh, well, you can't see a different provider unless you pay a fee. And I was like, that's never gonna happen. I'm just letting you know that. I will never pay a fee to see a different doctor. Like, that's outrageous. Like, I've never even heard of such a thing before. And I'm like, especially because they have multiple providers there. It's not like a one other provider clinic. This is like a 10 or more doctor clinic. I'm like, y'all have the staff to be able to change my records over like your one clinic. Like, I mean, that's really terrible customer service in my eyes. Like, if we're not meshing well, then you're just like, screw it. You have to stay with the person who cares. Like, it's not our problem. I mean, I get it's inconvenient. Nobody wants that. Like, I didn't want that because obviously if that was the situation, then if I wanted to see a different doctor just because, oh my gosh, my nose is so dry, you guys. Ugh. I'm picking the dry skin off as we speak. Okay. But I mean, if that was the case, then like I feel like they should make that policy available or more readily to people, because I don't think a lot of people would be like, oh yeah, like if we just don't mesh well, then I'll see a different doctor. But then you find out you can't, then they just won't let you. Like, that's just really sketchy boots, I'm just saying. So anyway, that's where I am at with that. So hopefully, it sounds like they had, oh my gosh, this is like such a Karen moment. I have a manager now calling me. Like, I didn't even ask for a manager to call me. Like, just to make that clear, I did not ask for a manager to call me. I just literally wanted to switch doctors and schedule with a different person and do a consult again. But now I have a manager calling me. So they called me once, and then I didn't respond right away. I don't think I answered the phone because I was like at work or something. I don't remember. And then I tried to call them back. And then, of course, like I could never get a hold of anybody there. So I wasn't able to get a hold of anybody. And then it sounds like they called me back eventually after like 3 attempts. And they were like, oh, yeah, this person's out because they're sick. Which, I mean, I get it. I'm sick right now, so I feel it. So I wasn't too judgmental about that. Like, I get it. So I'm supposed to get a call on Monday about this situation, about switching doctors, but I guess they want my feedback on why I'm switching doctors and all this so they can make that happen. But at the same time, I'm like even when I asked them on the phone, I was like, why would you have to pay a fee to switch doctors? Like, it's not like I'm switching clinics. Like, you guys have all of my data. Like, it's right there. It's in the same computer system. I mean, unless y'all do something real wacky that other people don't, but I mean, most of the time, you should be able to have everything in front of you, so it makes no sense that I would have to pay anything. I'm not even asking you to print my records. Like, I'm not asking you to do anything on your end except just see a different doctor, so that makes no sense. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. But yeah, so it's been a long journey. Like, I cannot wait. And then I was excited about Clomid in a way. Like, this sounds really weird, you guys, and like, I mean, maybe it's just my life. But anyway, I feel like I've had such a journey trying to get a kid. At this point, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like more risk of having twins with Clomid. I was like, good, we'll have 2 kids, then we can be done. It'll just be one round of this, you know? Like, yay! Bust them out right at one time. Like, I'm down. So that's what I was thinking. Anyway. Maybe the wrong thinking, because I mean, obviously there's more issues with having twins, but at the same time I'm like, well, 2 for 1 special. At this point, I gotta pay for everything. Pay for 1 visit, you know, get them all in at one time. But you know, so that's what's going on with that. So that's still stressing me out. I feel like that's just taking kind of a bumper, a bumper? I don't know. A dent? I don't know the wording exactly. My brain's mushy right now. I don't feel like it's perfect situation, but at the same time, I mean, I don't want to waste all of the time and energy I've put into going to this clinic, you know, to get answers and get results. And I've done all the recommendations that the other doctor recommended. Oh, that was the other thing. I like, how unlucky, I swear to goodness. So I go and I'm like, okay, let me get records from that doctor. So I was going to email his team through like the little, you know, electronic medical record system. And I look and he's not available. I'm like, what? Like, why can't I email him? I email my primary care doctor all the time. Oh, he's not there anymore. Of course. Of course. He wouldn't be there. So I can't just email them, like, can you send my records to this person, please? No, so I have to, like, go through the channels all over again. Kind of start all over, so that was cool. But I shouldn't have to go see that doctor again. I mean, obviously because he's not there, but I mean, I shouldn't have to start over, like, at that clinic for that, because I've already done the consult that I needed, which is good. So, my face is not coming out the way I want it. I'm so red. Like, I don't think there's any way to get this nose looking snatched, y'all. And then it's running on top of that, so it's like really not helping our situation. Anyway, this is a long video too. I'm so slow at putting on makeup, you guys. It takes me forever. So I think I'm gonna put on some highlighter, and I was trying to make my face look a little better, but I feel like it's not getting better. I'm gonna use this bronzer. You're gonna be like, what? It's bronzer, but it's like a little bit darker than my skin tone. So I'm gonna use that to kind of like mattify my face a little bit more, and then it also adds kind of like a little sheen. I probably should have done that versus a translucent powder, but here we are. I feel like sometimes that helps make my pores look a little better. Not perfect, but so I'm doing that. I'll list the products in the comments, you guys, that way you don't have to like hunt down all this stuff. I just use drugstore stuff because I'm like not a fancy person. What else? Yeah, so that's been the primary thing. I mean, there's been job stress, but like I said, it's kind of a very long story. And I don't really want to get into because there's a lot of background stuff going on. So, but eventually that's another story for another day. You know, so there's that. But I don't know. I'm trying to get my groove back. Hoping to not be ill much longer. Like right now I'm just kind of a little sniffly and like my voice isn't perfect, but you know, here we are. Oh my God, I closed that finishing powder. Everywhere. What a mess. What a mess. Okay, I'm gonna do my brows because you guys see I don't have brows. I was just gonna show you this. Like, this is the cheapest, crappiest product, but I love it. Okay, like I'm really selling it. It's called Designer Brow Stamp. I got this, I think at Roses in Virginia, which if you guys don't know, Roses is bomb. Like, but they barely have any of them. And every time I go to Virginia, I just go to Roses because like it's the store of my life. But hold on, so that matches that. Okay, so basically you have a pad of like brow ink, not ink, but it's kind of like a powder, a creamy powder. I'll put that in there, and then you have literally a stamp. So oh, I overshot it. So if you're good at this, this works out. I'm not always good at this, but like sometimes I get it right and it looks really good. Oh, I wanted to add a little bit of this. I can kind of fix it, but I think because I'm trying to hurry up and be on camera, it's like not pairing out well. And then what I'll do is take, I mean, which yesterday my brows looked really good. I should probably just go back to the brow mascara, but I was like trying to be fancy. And this, where the heck is the brow mascara, speaking of? I have no glasses on. I'm over here just like looking with my eyes, which aren't very good. Oh, here we go. So I was using this. This is just NYX Tinted Brow Mascara. This is what I used yesterday, and I feel like my brows are looking pretty good. I'm just going to try to fill in a little bit more. Like any bare spots. Oh my lord, I overshot it by a lot. You guys, no one told me. Y'all just let me do that to myself. Oh lord. Okay, here we are. What else? Oh, I was gonna do this really quick. I'm just gonna kind of take a little bit of this away. I'm gonna try to make it a little smaller, just a little bit smaller. There's no need to go that hard with it. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, so that's what's been going on with me. I don't know. What's been going on with you guys? You guys living your best life, hopefully. The other thing that I feel like has been going on is I haven't left my house in a really long time, which, I mean, I wasn't leaving a ton before, honestly, because of the way things are now, what cannot be said, but I don't know, I'm, like, not that sad about it. I mean, I think I'm just such an introvert. I'm like, oh, it's not been bad. I mean, I don't ever leave. I just stay home. I always got stuff here to do, you know, like, it's been pretty good. So, you know, I mean, I could be working on my videos and, you know, making more content, which would be nice, but, you know, I've been slacking on that. Hopefully in the new year I won't be such a slacker, but, I mean, I say that every year. Here we are. We're still plugging away. In my defense, though, hold on, this is that one, so that doesn't go here. I feel like in my defense, though, like, I feel like at work I work really hard, and then I get home and I'm just like, ugh, I don't want to do anything. I barely want to breathe. Like, I just want to be alive, you know? Like, unless I'm real motivated to do something. I'm going to try this harder this time. Okay, I feel like that's a little better. Just added a little bit more at the end. Anyway, I was telling you guys, because I'm all over the place, and I don't know. TikTok's made me think I have ADHD. I don't know, I'm starting to believe it. Not the HD part, maybe the ADD part, I don't know, just the D's, but, anyway, reason being is roses. I was just telling you guys, there's barely any of them. If you ever see one, go to it. It always has such, like, crazy stuff in it. It's kind of like a Big Lots, but, I don't know, but I feel like it's better. It has more clothes, so if you're into that, like, you can just find, like, really cheap stuff there. I used to shop there pretty much exclusively when we were in Virginia and we were broke, because, like, obviously we didn't have any money, so I would buy, like, pretty much all of my things there. This is too much. I was going to use a beauty blender under here, but that's not going to work. I'm just trying to refine this just a hair or two. And then I did switch my makeup, you guys, for my foundation. I'm using the Loreal Infallible because my Wet n Wild is good, but I've noticed that, like, because I don't have exactly the right shade, I have to do like a mix of 2 shades. And I don't know, I was just curious to see if I could find a better one, and I'm really liking this one, so I think this one might be my new find. Probably everyone's been using it for years, but I don't switch products very much. I'll just stay with the same stuff forever if I like it. I'm just trying to fix that little tail there. This, like, I mean, they're not twins, but they're related, kind of. They're on my face, that makes them related. Anyway, so there's that. And then I'm gonna do a little highlighter. I had the cutest makeup, you guys, yesterday. I should have took a picture. Like, it was so adorable. I barely ever wear makeup, and I was looking really cute. I did a very natural look. I was not like this at all. But I did blush, which I never do, and I was like, I look so cute. What? So right now I'm using this one. It's Hello Halo Blushlighter. So I'm going to use this, like the pink one over here. So it's kind of like a highlighter and blush simultaneously. And I'm trying to put it up high. make you look young. Because I'm an old lady. I'm just kidding. Not, but apparently per my fertility system I am. I'm ancient. Elderly, they said. Mature, you could also say. But anyway. Oh my gosh. I'm so annoyed that I'm sniffly still. Like, what the heck? I feel like it's because I'm actually trying to do something and that's what's making me sniffly. Anybody else feel like that? You know, like you'll be at home and you're like, oh my god, I'm getting so much better. Things are so great. And then you go to do one activity and you're like, oh my god, what the heck? Like, try to do one thing, dying. Anyway, so that's where I'm at. And then I do want to do a lip. I don't have the best lip pencils. Anyway. You see it's like moving. WTF. Oh Lord. Oh my gosh. You can tell how often I do lip stuff. I'm like over here. I got crust and dust everywhere. What? This is how not to do makeup, y'all. Like see how my nose is just peeling on the spot. So obnoxious. Yesterday it kind of worked out because I had to wear a mask, so it covered up my nose, which was very nice. I was like, yeah, cover it up. I was like, it's not looking good. I'm adding extra down here. I heard that helps. Give you the illusion you have lips. I need to fix over here though. Good gravy. I never was good at drawing along the lines here. So like fix that a little bit. I still want it to be like bigger than they normally are because I have really tiny lips, but maybe it'll be okay in a second. I don't know, we'll fix it. Do I look like Kaylee? I probably just look like a normal person. I just now have lips. Ooh, I probably need to fix under that a little bit. Like, I want it to look like a shadow, but I don't want it to also look like I literally just overlined my lips super hard, which I did, but anyway, so there's that. But thoughts, you guys, and also thoughts on my channel, because, you know, I've switched my content up a little bit to more ophthalmology stuff, kind of like versus how I started. And the thing is, I mean, I could talk about ophthalmology stuff all day, but I also just kind of like going on other events and doing other stuff, so it's up to you guys, whatever you guys want to see. Give me some ideas in the comments. I'll take them, as long as they're doable. So, my nose is not going to look good. I don't know why I'm trying to make it look good. I am going to add a little bit of a brighter highlight around a little bit, just to kind of do a topper on me, just to make it look a little cuter. Oh my god, look what's up that nose. And then I need a little bit above my lip. Where's a brush when you need it small? Here's a small brush. Ooh, that one's a really crunchy brush. It's supposed to look like your lips sweaty or something, I don't know. Maybe that the light's hitting your lip. I don't think that did anything. Is it just my brush is terrible or what? Oh. Maybe it looks like my nose is dripping now? Is that the look we're going for? Okay. Oh, I do enjoy it up here though. Wow. Wow, wow, wooey. this is what happens when you get highlighter out. You just start putting it everywhere. I mean, not that I'm sad about it, but I do enjoy it. Okay. Or maybe I should put a little bit on the inner quarter on the pink. I need to stop. It's a highlighter addiction. I was just like, that could pop up the pink a little bit, make it look shiny. Ooh, I do like a shiny pink. Anyway, that's the look for you guys today. And I mean, it's alright. I probably need to draw it on my face a little bit more. I'm terrible about remembering to bring it down enough. Because my face is so white and my neck's so white. Okay. That's a little better. Anyway, so thanks for listening to me rant today. Here's my makeup look. Oh, I can see myself. So you'll probably have to see it with me having glasses on because my eyes are so dry. But yeah, here we are. But yeah, so I just want to give you an update on things because the videos coming up should hopefully be shorter because I won't have to do this whole what's been going on with me bit beforehand. So anyway, I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm losing it over here. So I'm like trying to make a note of all the products I use. So that way I can put them in the description. And I'm sitting here like, I look off. Why do I look off? Like what? I mean, I thought I did an okay job. Like, what am I missing? Why am I off? Can you guys tell? Can you figure it out? My mascara. And on top of that, which is really weird, like I had just put that lipstick on. You guys saw me put that lipstick on and I put it on the counter and it's gone. Like completely gone. And I know I don't have my glasses on right now, but when I did have my glasses on, it was still gone. So that's weird. That's suspicious. So anyway, I forgot this step, but I feel like such a yutz. Anyway, so that's the makeup look for today. But yeah. Sorry to forget that part, but here we are. Hope you guys are having a great day and you have a good new year, and we'll start with some fresh videos this week. All right, okay, bye.